Welcome to Leadership Unleashed, the show that will explore the multifaceted world of leadership through insightful interviews, thought-provoking discussions, and practical advice from leaders throughout Westchester County and beyond. I'm your host, Dr. Marsha Gordon, President and CEO of the Business Council of Westchester. Today, we're excited to bring you a special episode of Leadership Unleashed featuring Carl Petrillo, chairman of Yonkers Contracting, Inc., and a 2026 Hall of Fame winner of the very prestigious Corporate Citizenship Award. Carl, thank you for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
And we are so proud to have Westchester Medical Center as the premier sponsor of the Leadership Unleashed podcast.
A lot goes into planning a birthday. For my daughter Cameron, it started with a stem cell transplant to cure her sickle cell disease. Yes, cure. Westchester Medical Center Health Network uses every technology, technique, and talented specialist to conquer diseases that could otherwise rob a child of childhood, helping my daughter and thousands of others at Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital. Happy birthday, Cameron.
Happy birthday.
WMC Health, advancing care here.
So, Mr. Petrillo, before we begin, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and the work that Yonkers Contracting does.
Well, Yonkers Contracting is our family business. My dad started it in 1945. We recently celebrated our 80th year in business, and we're a civil infrastructure contractor that works for primarily public agencies in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. We're very diversified in the type of infrastructure we work on, and it runs from paving roads to building bridges, a lot of environmental work, and general building work for public facilities.
Can you talk about some of the big projects that you've done that we all know about but don't realize that Yonkers Contracting was behind it or in front of it?
Sure. We had a joint venture that we managed that did the rebuilding of the Path Center after 9/11. We got there in 2002, and we did a design build with the Port Authority that got done in 20 months, was under budget, and opened the path to traffic again. It was a $550 million endeavor, and it took a full staff of the port to design as we were building, and we had as many as 1,000 tradesmen on the job at any one time.
It's incredible. Your work is incredible. So all these public projects, they happen through a procurement system, correct?
They do.
How does that work? How has it evolved?
So for years, the tradition was for the owner to provide a set of plans and specifications, and he would submit them to qualified bidders who would then price the contract, and they would have a bid opening where they would rip the envelopes open and read. The lowest formal bid was always the one who would be awarded the contract. Over time, there became a considerable concern for quality as much as price. So in recent years, the procurement process has been somewhat revised. It's evolved into a weighted average, 50% price and 50% technical, and you score on both sides. And the combination of the two, the one who has the highest score, would be the successful bidder. So on the technical side, there are 4 elements, one of which is your experience in like projects, so that you've seen this type of work, you've done it, and successfully completed other projects for other owners. The next piece is project management. Who are you putting on the job? Their references, how long have they been in the business? How much experience do they have in doing this work? And then there is the issue of schedule, which is very important and highly rated. How quickly can you do the job? Are you working days or nights? And how can you minimize the inconvenience to the public? We spend a great deal of time working on schedules and being able to combine stages and accelerate the construction phase. And then lastly, it is your engineer who you have as a partner, because in these jobs, it is a design and a build partnership. Unlike in the past where the designer worked for the owner, completed the plans and then given to you. In this instance, the constructability is part of the process with the engineer as he builds.
So when we think about the difference between today's current road and bridge public contract construction techniques and those of long ago era building new roads, is the design build the main difference? What is the difference today between how you do your work today and how it used to be done?
Oh, it's a different game today. When my father started, it was the beginning of the Interstate Highway Program that Eisenhower had undertaken in order to move military through limited access highways to any part of the country. That was the original intention of that. As it turned out, it was the biggest economic driver in the history of the United States. That road system, when completed, really produced great economic growth.
By the way, I was at Yonkers Contracting a few weeks ago, and to see the library of pictures that you have is so historical, including the pictures of your father and the people that worked there and the projects that got done. I was just amazed.
Yeah. So he cut mountains, he filled valleys, he built bridges. This was open country that had no roads in it before. He went through farmers' fields, quantities of excavation and quantities of fill and drainage. They were huge in these games. And he took a lot of construction equipment to do them. What we've evolved to today is upgrading existing roads. We don't add capacity to the roads. What we do is improve the safety elements of the road. Medium barriers, signs, pavement, drainage, curbs, and access highways, stacking lanes to get in, stacking lanes to get off. But the actual out of the roads is not changing. So it's a different type of construction equipment. It's almost always night work because of the traffic, and it really has to coordinate with the commuter traffic in the morning and the evening. Entirely different, much more expensive, and much more complicated. Very
interesting. Let's talk a little bit about project labor agreements. Can you explain what project labor agreements are and what that means for Yonkers Contracting?
So PLA is a project labor agreement that's negotiated between the unions and the owner, public agencies usually, to provide the framework for anyone who's employed on the job. It recognizes union jurisdiction. It recognizes the current wage and benefit costs for the employees on the job, and the trades vary in wages depending on which trade you're employing. It removes most of the non-productive labor from the agreement, and it also provides some benefits that vary from one project to the other. It gives the bidders now an even field so that all bidders, if they are, example, non-union, have to meet these requirements of wage and jurisdiction. And therefore, it evens the field for the bidding also. We recently got a job with a PLA that we would not have gotten if it wasn't for the PLA.
That's terrific. That's amazing. Well, thank you for enlightening us on that. Because Yonkers Contracting, you really are the symbol for employee relations, doing great work, giving back to the community. You've done it all, Carl Petrillo, and you are carrying on the legacy of your family and moving forward. And we thank you so much for that. And that's why we are so proud to honor Yonkers Contracting as our winner of our Corporate Citizenship Award at this 25-year milestone for the Business Council of Westchester Hall of Fame. How does this recognition reflect your journey?
Our corporate message was to operate a corporation with gainful employment to provide for a social conscience and to render a distinct service to our clients. And we have done that from the beginning. That was my father's concept, and continue to do that today. Recognition of our approach to how corporations should operate. I believe I'm happy that we're able to get a recognition of that. And it just reinforces our commitment to continuing to work in that manner. I'm happy that the award that we received, it gives, I think, all of our employees a great deal of pride, and it commits us all to that continued message.
Well, and we thank you for having those values and that culture within your organization, and all you do for the community. And you are the ultimate corporate citizen. You really are at Yonkers Contracting. So, where do you see your leadership or innovation heading next? What comes next for your industry, your company, your employees?
The challenges for us are bigger today than they were in the past. The projects are bigger, more complicated. We need a continual source of young, bright engineers. We need to focus on their training, and we need to provide them with a work schedule that accommodates family obligations. That's changed a lot from when I was young.
Absolutely.
We worked day and night, and the family, frankly, came behind our jobs. Young people today don't accept that. They are committed to sharing in the raising of children and being there for the family. So with that in mind, we have limited our geographic market to 3 states and try to place our employees who work in that state for our own projects. We have an eye towards that. And working nights is unfortunately a commitment that the industry has made to getting the projects done today. So we have no choice with the night work. That's something that we all have to experience and work with. The future for us is more of the same thing. I think there'll be bigger jobs, more challenges. Our company will grow, more opportunity for the people who are with us, and a recognition of the environment that we live in today, and trying to match our obligation employment with that environment.
It's really wonderful to hear someone who's been in business a while, and has a long-standing company, to really acknowledge and accept and plan for the future and what's going to work for your employees and what's going to work for your company, and having to balance that yourself.
Yeah.
So you have real challenges, but you have shown throughout your illustrious career that you're a company that moves with the times. And I also know the generosity of the company in helping students, helping organizations, helping your community succeed and find opportunities at your company as well. And so we thank you for that. And we are just so honored to have this opportunity to applaud you at this event, and through this podcast, begin to let everybody know more about Yonkers Contracting, because you are a wonderful corporate citizen.
Oh, thank you, and I accept the award in the name of the several hundred permanent employees at our company.
Thank you so much. And we want to also thank our sponsor, Westchester Medical Center, and our listeners. So please join us on Tuesday, April 28th at the Glen Island Harbor Club as we celebrate Carl and our other incredible honorees at our annual Hall of Fame Awards. It will be a night you will not want to miss. Thank you.
Be sure to check out the BCW Podcast Network's expansive lineup of shows: Leadership Unleashed, What's Trending, Advocacy and Politics Unplugged, The Member Spotlight, and Nonprofit Voices of Impact. The Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization focusing on economic development and advocacy. With over 1,100 members, it is our mission to work for the profitability of our members and the prosperity of the Westchester community. To learn more, go to thebcw.org.